Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Opper. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday to you all. Hope you had a great long weekend. I have been working hard trying to figure out some new assignments for you this week, and I'm starting with a drawing assignment because I can see on my YouTube channel that the drawings get the most views. So you're just going to need a blank piece of paper. This is computer paper. You're going to need a ruler, a pencil, an eraser, a black marker or a Sharpie, or any kind of Sharpie really, but black to outline. And I brought my fancy schmancy crayons because I like them. They're fun to color with. So we're going to get started. We're going to be working with some perspective today. So yeah, something a little bit new. So to start, we are going to fold our paper as we often do. These are going to be creating some guidelines for us, or sight lines. So we're dividing it in half and then dividing it in a quarter. And then we're going to open it back up. Okay. Our paper is going to be hamburger, not hot dog, sitting on your desk. Now these lines are here just to guide us to figure out where to start and where to set up our initial lines. Once you color it, you're not even going to notice the folds are there. So don't worry too much about them. So this is a vertical line and this is a horizontal line. And it's called horizontal because this is the horizon. So it's the view across your paper. And we are going to start by creating a horizon line. And a horizon line is just a line that divides the sky from the land, basically. So I'm going to go a little bit above center. So there's my center line. I'm going to put my ruler a little bit above it. You could use a whole ruler width. I'm using about half a ruler width. And I'm just going to hold it and draw a nice strong horizon. So already you can see that this is the sky and this is the ground. From there, I'm going to follow down my vertical line that I'd created with my fold, and I'm going to put a little dot on the center of my horizon, and that's called my vanishing point. So everything that I'm going to draw is kind of vanishing and going up into that center point. So you're going to have to use your imagination and pretend you're standing at the end of a road and you're looking down the road and you're looking at the horizon and the mountains and the sky at the end of the road. So basically what I'm here to do is teach you how to draw that road and all the things that are in it. Everything that's here in the paper is going to be a little bit bigger to you because you're closer to it. And as you travel farther away, things are going to become a little bit smaller. But I'll show you that step by step. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our road. And we're going to start right beside our vanishing point. I'm going to put a little dot there on either side. So those are the two sides of the road. And I'm also going to put a dot down here in the corner of my paper, and I'm just going to take this road dot and I'm going to draw a line that connects them. Don't worry about your dots. We will erase after we've done drawing and we've outlined it with a Sharpie. We'll get rid of all those pencil marks. That's one side of your road. So you can tell we've got to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to put a little vanishing or a little dot there. I'm going to put my pencil on the dot beside the vanishing point because we're creating a narrow road, and it's coming down, traveling down, 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 there, creating a wider road. So clearly the wide part is where you are. You can see things that are bigger and closer. As you go and travel up the road, everything gets a little bit smaller. So from there, we're going to create the center road line. And the center road line is going to start kind of on one side of this vanishing point. And you know the center road line is either dotted yellow lines or one full white line. We're just going to create one full line. And I'm going to start by my vanishing point and draw all the way down. There's a little blip there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to start on the other side of my dot, and my line is going to be a little bit narrower and get just a tiny bit thicker as we go along because, again, as we look away or as I travel closer to me, the line does get a little bit bigger. So you can see that it vanishes and gets smaller as you travel away. So you can already see a road. I'd be driving on this side, somebody else is coming on this side. Pretty cool, huh? So we're going to be driving along in the wilderness in the forest. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to draw some trees. And the first trees that we're going to draw are going to be close to us. and that means they're going to be bigger. So anything that is bigger is closer to us, and it is near the front of your paper. So I'm going to go find that horizon line over on this side, and I'm going to put a little dot right about there above my horizon line. And from there, I'm just going to create kind of like a triangle tree. You know, the basic tree we all draw at Christmas, or everyone's first tree that they learn to draw. So that's one side of my triangle tree. And then I just do that. I can't really see the other side. Only part of the tree is there, but it's quite nice and big because it's close. Don't worry about any of these lines that intersect. We'll erase them later. So now I'm going to go over to this side. Okay, we're going to do something similar. I'm going to create another tree that's bigger. I'm going to go above my horizon line. And I'm going to start my triangle tree. And there we might have a little bit of more dimension. I really like how I ended that. And there's the stump. So two trees that are closer to me, and we know they're closer to me because they're bigger. Okay. From there, we are going to travel a little bit away. So we're going to go moving up the road, and we are going to draw another tree. This tree is going to be a little bit different. So watch what I do. I'm going to do a little weird chicken hand there, and then I'm going to draw some poofs around it. Different kind of tree. Over here, I'm going to stick with my triangle tree. And it intersects, so it goes a little bit behind the tree that I drew it beside, and that's okay. So you can see things are getting a little bit smaller. I'm going to go here a little bit up the road closer to the horizon, and I'm going to draw another one of the trees like that, but just a tad smaller. Do a chicken foot, and then like a dog paw around it. Over here, I'm going to do another one of the triangle trees, and it's going to be a little bit smaller, and it's going to go a little bit behind the tree that I have right there. Okay, so you can see we're traveling up our road. From there, I'm going to draw one more tree, and this one is actually going to cross the horizon. So it's going to, the top of it's going to go just above the horizon. Then I'm going to make my triangle. And there's my triangle tree. Over here, I'm going to do another one of these trees. So I'm going to make my chicken claw, and there we've got the poofs around the chicken claw. So as you can tell, things are getting a little bit smaller as you move away. Pretty cool. We're almost there. Now this is a basic tree picture, and you can certainly recreate it. And I've done it a few times now, and I've made some changes. So you could put dogs in here and then make things a little bit smaller, different animals sitting there watching the road. So there's lots of things you could do once you learn the basic structure of a Vanishing Point road. Okay, so just some ideas for you, but let's not get carried away. Let's get this one finished. Okay, so up here in the horizon, so we've actually pushed our trees off from the forefront where we are, and they're traveling away, and now they've actually crossed the horizon. Here we're going to put some mountains. Okay, so we are going to create mountains, and we're going to start with a mountain over here on this side. And it's going to start coming right off the paper with a nice point, a little jig, a little jog, and another point all the way down, and it meets the horizon. Then we're going to have another mountain that's kind of behind it, so it's going to start a bit further down, go down, and it's going to come, whoops, all the way close to our road. On this side, we're going to start close to the road. So I'm not going to draw over my tree. I'm actually going to draw under it. So I'm going to go there and then create a jig and a jog and come down. Okay. If you drew over your tree, it's okay. We'll just erase it later. So we've got another little mountain, and we want to add another mountain, a little small one, There we go. So pretty basic, very doable. From there, we're going to add, in this picture, we're going to add some clouds. So we've got some sky here all around our mountains. And you can draw clouds any way you want. Poofy clouds, some can be on the mountains. Some can be over here, above, totally up to you where you put your clouds. There's my clouds. So from there, all that you have left to do, and I'm just going to slip a piece of paper under it, is to cover your lines with a marker, a Sharpie, or even a ballpoint pen. And then we're going to erase all the pencil marks. So I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to start with my horizon line, but I am going to start with the next line that we worked with, and that is my road. So I'm going to go back to my road, and I'm going to draw. So it didn't quite do it perfectly. That's okay. It'll erase. I am putting a piece of paper underneath it though, because Sharpie goes straight on through to whatever's underneath it. So you should put a piece of paper under it. All right, so let's get this finished up. I'm going to do that part of my road. Then I'm going to go back to the center and do that center white line, narrow, 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 and a little wider in the end. And again, you can see I missed some of the pencil, so I'm going to erase that later. Next, I'm going to go and trace my trees. And I'm not going to worry about this line at all. We'll erase that later. And put a little detail onto my tree. So I'm tracing. I'm going to go over to this tree next. And sometimes I change my mind as I do something like going over it with a Sharpie. So I may not follow my lines perfectly because I might think, no, I like it different. Like right there, I'm going to do a little bit differently. Right there, a little bit differently. Then I'm going to do these trees. Draw detail there. And I'm going to do my chicken foot tree. And then the tree behind it. And another chicken foot tree. So I'm just going to get all these nice and dark so that they really stand out. If I don't follow the lines perfectly, I'm not worried about it because I'm going to erase them after. See, that one I did a little bit differently. And my Sharpie is much thicker than my pencil, so sometimes your lines do look a little different because you're using a thicker end, and that's okay. So next I am actually going to do my horizon line. I'm going to turn my paper. Now here's the horizon, but guess what? This tree is blocking that horizon, so I'm not going to outline that part. That's going to get erased. So I'm going to go over the horizon from this tree to this tree. I'm going to skip that, then I'm going to draw my horizon from this tree to this tree. So connecting, kind of finishing all my lines. And my horizon continues, and I'm going to stop when it hits that tree, and we're going to erase that after. I'm actually going to work down. It's a little bit easier. So you can see there's a bit of work we have to do to erase, but you've got a lovely horizon there. Okay, we're almost done. So now I'm going to go over my mountains. If you wanted, you could create snow caps on top. I haven't done that. So you noticed I stopped at my tree because I don't want to draw over my tree. My mountain's going behind it. And the same with here. I stopped at my tree. The mountain's going behind it. There we go. All we have left are some clouds. So I'm going to do this cloud. Change it a little bit. Now this cloud, I can't go over there anymore because I went through it by accident, so I gotta make a smaller adjustment. And again, you can see I'm not following my cloud lines all that well. I'm kind of making them up as I go along again. One more over there. Awesome. So we're done our basic picture. You, of course, could add a few more things, like you could add some grass, some details like that. It does help to give your work a little bit more oomph, a little bit more reality. You could add a few more plants, a few more trees. You could put a tree here, a tree there. But for time's sake, I am going to just finish there. So now I'm going to go over it and erase it all. So the Sharpie is not going to come off, and you can see I'm erasing that horizon line there. Same down the center. I missed a few here. So you just go and you clean it up, and it cleans up really, really well. I'm going to erase that horizon line, and if the paint doesn't erase perfectly, it will disappear once you color it or paint it, whichever you decide. Remember, start and stop, pause the video whenever you need to. Okay, if I move too fast or you're having a hard time getting your sizes the way you want, just stop the video and then start it up. Once you get the idea, you'll probably just go. But you do have to remember that this actually is my third one, so it got a little easier as I moved along. So from there, all you want to do is color it. So you would take some colors and start coloring. Now I will show you the first one I did. Now this one is a realistic version. Here's my road, my trees, my mountains and clouds. So the colors are all quite real. I left the center line white. You could do it yellow. So that was really fun. So that's very similar to the one we have, except this one I added a few different trees. And those different trees came from this picture. Oops, I bumped my video. Now this picture is the second one I did, and I decided I wanted to try some different trees, and then I decided to color it all different. And instead of clouds, this is kind of like a sunset behind. So once you get your basic drawing down, you can do lots of different things. It doesn't have to be done realistically. It can be done with lots of fun different colors to make it look like your own. So there you go, a perspective drawing with a vanishing point and a road. I wonder what yours is going to look like. Thanks for hanging out with me today, everybody. Can't wait to see your drawings. Feel free to email me them. I do respond. I love seeing them. Have a great rest of your day. See you later, alligators.